Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres declares that a two-state solution was the only way forward, as it would end what he termed the suffering of the Palestinian people and would eliminate Israel's occupation of territories the Palestinians demand for their future state. A new study found that the Palestinian refugees receive a budget from the United Nations that is 4 times larger than any other refugee worldwide. The Iranian-backed Hezbollah, the Syrian army, and separately the Lebanese armed forces announced a ceasefire with the Islamic State along the Lebanese-Syrian border after an agreement was reached that would allow the Islamic State to withdraw. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres concluded today his 4-day visit to Israel and the Palestinian territories as part of a Middle East tour aimed at promoting a renewed international effort to restart a long-stalled process to end the decades-old Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Guterres declared during a joint press conference with the Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority, Rami Hamdallah, that a two-state solution was the only way forward, as it would end what he referred to as the suffering of the Palestinian people and would effectively eliminate Israel's occupation of territories which the Palestinians demand for their future state. Guterres also emphasized that Netanyahu's pledge to never again uproot Israeli settlements from lands the Palestinians demand for their future state contradicts international law and is an obstacle to the internationally aspired two-state solution.
A two-state solution with the end of occupation and with the creation of conditions to end also the suffering of the Palestinian people is, in my opinion, the only way to guarantee that peace is established and at the same time that two states can live together in security and in mutual recognition. I think it is clear that there is a disagreement on that matter. We believe that settlement activity is illegal under international law. We believe it is an obstacle to the two-state solution, and so we obviously are in disagreement with what was said.
Palestinian Prime Minister Hamdallah seized the opportunity to warn Secretary General Guterres that the internationally aspired two-state solution is vanishing. Hamdallah stressed that the viability of reaching the aspired solution was subject to the urgency of the international community, primarily the U.S. administration, which the Palestinian leader stressed had to force the international law on Israel.
أنا بعتقد حل الدولتين بتلاشى عماله على الأسرة الدولية والمؤسسات الدولية وعلى رأس الأمم المتحدة والولايات المتحدة الأمريكية العمل بشكل سريع وجاد وفاعل لتطبيق الشرعية الدولية على إسرائيل. إسرائيل يجب أن لا تكون دولة فوق القانون، يجب أن يطبق عليها القانون. نحن نلاحظ جميع قرارات الأمم المتحدة ومجلس الأمن الدولي تطبق في جميع أنحاء العالم إلا هون في فلسطين. سؤالنا للإدارة الأمريكية بعتقد أجل الوقت المناسب أن تطبق الإدارة الأمريكية قرارات الشرعية الدولية وأن تقيم حل الدولتين فلسطين بجانب دولة إسرائيل.
The comments by the UN Secretary General and Palestinian Prime Minister came just 1 day after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused the United Nations of pursuing in an obsessive manner flagrant discriminatory tactics against the Jewish state. Netanyahu further declared that the UN mandate for Israel that aimed at advancing peace, security, and international cooperation has objectively failed.
The mandate of the UN was to advance peace and security and international cooperation, and this is something that we seek to do, but I think objectively we can say that the UN has failed when it comes to Israel to live up to this mandate. The UN is mandated to preserve world heritage, but UNESCO, a world body, time and again makes a mockery of that heritage, most absurdly, when it denies the connection 3,000 years old of the Jewish people to our eternal capital, Jerusalem. The UN is mandated to pursue peace, but it allows Palestinian hate speech to flourish in its institutions. The UN is mandated to stand up for human rights, but it allows in its various forums the worst human rights violators to take up the cudgel and to accuse Israel of violating human rights.
Now to Paris, where French President Emmanuel Macron announced his interest to visit Israel and the Palestinian territories as part of a broader Middle East tour to offer France's assistance to international efforts in restarting a peace process that would bring about an end to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. President Macron emphasized that Paris desires to assist in realizing a two-state solution that he said would provide both Israel and the Palestinians security and peace.
Nous poursuivrons nos efforts avec l'ONU pour une solution à deux États, Israël et Palestine, vivant côte à côte en sécurité dans des frontières reconnues par la communauté internationale, avec Jérusalem comme capitale des deux États. Je souhaite me rendre à cet égard au printemps prochain au Proche-Orient, en visite au Liban, en Jordanie, en Israël et dans les territoires palestiniens.
The French president, who met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in July and made an appeal to him for renewed Israeli-Palestinian peace efforts, noted in his press conference to Paris's diplomatic corps that France is ready to apply diplomatic levers toward renewed negotiations, but gave no further specifics. He did not indicate any eagerness for France to spearhead such negotiations, however, after a failed diplomatic effort by Paris earlier this year. Now, in other news, a new study found that Palestinian refugees receive a budget 4 times larger than a Syrian, Iraqi, or African refugee. The study, which was conducted by the Abba Eban Institute of International Diplomacy at the IDC Herzliya, reinforced Israel's traditional argument against the split between the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, or the UNHCR, which provides assistance to all refugees worldwide, and the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, or UNRWA, which provides assistance only for Palestinian refugees. The United Nations is currently addressing the largest refugee crisis in history, with about 68 million people worldwide seeking refuge. At the end of last week, UNRWA released its annual financial report, which stated that in 2016, the organization spent an average of $246 for each of the 5.3 million Palestinians it defines as refugees, while the UNHCR spent only a quarter of that, $58 per refugee. In addition, the data shows that UNRWA employs some 30,000 people, while the World Refugee Agency, which handles tens of millions of refugees worldwide, employs only 10,000 people. Now, in other news, the Iranian-backed Hezbollah, the Syrian army, and separately the Lebanese armed forces announced a ceasefire of their operations against the Islamic State along the Lebanese-Syrian border. As part of the ceasefire agreement, the Islamic State provided information on the 8 kidnapped Lebanese soldiers held by the extreme Muslim group since the summer of 2014, when the terror group took control of the mountainous area of the Syrian-Lebanese border, together with the Al-Qaeda-linked militia, the Nusra Front. At the same time, the Islamic State has also agreed to transfer to Hezbollah the bodies of both Iranian and Hezbollah fighters killed in battles in Syria and Lebanon, in addition to one presumably live captive. In exchange, the Islamic State militants will be transported to Syria's Idlib province, a district controlled by both jihadist and so-called moderate rebels. The loss of the territory effectively means an end to the Islamic State on the Lebanese frontier. Thank you for watching us. Keep praying for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. I'm Jonathan Hassan of Erev Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.
In order to donate to TV7 Israel News, please follow these simple steps. First, press the Donate logo, located at the bottom left side of TV7 Israel News Facebook page, or on the Donate tab at the head of the page. Then insert the amount you'd like to donate, and fill in your credit card information. Just like this. And press Review Donation and continue. After reviewing your donation details, please press Donate to finalize your donation. That's it! Your donation is now complete, and an email with your donation details has been sent to your email address. You can also print your donation receipt by pressing the link here. Thank you for supporting TV7 Israel News.